In the beginning, there was Andrew and there was Krista. And then Europe was invented. So they went to Europe. And that's really bad. This is the story of us and Europe. Parts of Europe. After a plane, a bus, a train, and a very steep staircase, we were ready to explore Amsterdam. First, we checked out the canals. You really can't miss them. I mean, those suckers are all over town. We took some silly pictures and explored some more. We drank some wine in the park, and then proceeded to do that every day for the rest of the trip. And then What is that? That is the worst kiss I've ever seen. Do we even like each other? Ew. We made our way towards dinner and found out that even breaking a wine glass isn't a good reason for your waiter to come to the table. The next morning we had breakfast outside. You tried to escape this selfie that I look amazing in, and we hung out in the museum park before going into the Van Gogh Museum. We sorta rushed through the museum because we were hungry and wanted to get to the Indonesian restaurant that Katie recommended. Sampurna. What a meal. And poof, it's gone, bitch. The next morning we had a photo shoot. Sexy beast. Babe, you look so pretty with those flowers. Hey, what do those flowers in your forehead have in common? They both wilt and turn brown in the sun. Ooh! Burn! You have melasma! I love you. For our last afternoon in Amsterdam, we thought it was about time to sail the canals, and that's just what we did. You know, when I think back on what I love so much about Amsterdam, it's not the parks, the canals, the architecture, or even the person I was with. It's the fact that you could piss in the streets. So nice. Now it was time to say goodbye to Amsterdam and hop on a plane to Spain. At first, we didn't find Barcelona quite as charming as Amsterdam, but a little paella and some red wine, and look at that smile grow. The next day we started exploring, and oh my goudy, look at that architecture. We hiked to the top of Park Güell, but the view was totally worth it. I mean, check that out. This was the picture that we wanted to take, but this was the picture that we could afford. But with the power of modern technology, I was able to get us that picture. We decided to have mimosas in the park for lunch, which made someone a little sleepy. Nothing a very little coffee can't fix. We headed towards the Sagrada Familia, and wow, look at that athletic prowess. Here we are in front of the Sagrada Familia. That's not right. Here we are in front of the Sagrada Familia. And all jokes aside, it is a very impressive building, but you'd think they could have had it done for our trip, huh? On the walk home, I bought this amazing straw hat, but not sure how you felt about it. The next day we went to this awesome open-air market, and I did not know you liked watermelon that much. You missed the view on the bus ride to Tossa de Mar, and decided that straw hats weren't that lame when we got there. There's a beautiful medieval city on the beach. You pretended to use the telescope, while I found a statue that I really liked. We explored the old city for a while before having white sangria for lunch and red sangria for dessert. Then we just relaxed on the beach for the rest of the day. We both missed the view on the way back to Barcelona. The next day we walked and ate at a very Instagram-worthy restaurant. We decided to go to the park all the way at the top of the mountain. So we just started walking through some pretty neighborhoods, around some cliffs, up a trail, and finally got to the top so I could take a picture of myself. Then we went shopping. Yay! But I found out European swimsuits don't fit me. Boo! Then we enjoyed our last night of sightseeing in Barcelona. I gotta say, when we first got there, we wished we were still in Amsterdam. But by the end, we were saying, Amster who? Barcelona? More like Barca loved it. Hey, you know what's nice? Nice. And that's exactly where we went next. 3 puns in a row, high score. We only had one day in Nice, so we figured renting bikes was our best plan of attack. We rode down to the marina and tried to imagine owning one of these yachts. Then we explored the city a little before settling down on the not-so-comfortable beach. The water was incredible. You could practically lay down on top of it. After dinner, I learned a very important fact about you.
I like smoke paprika all the time.
Good to know. The next day, the train workers were on strike, and amidst the confusion, we got on the wrong train and almost got separated. But eventually, we made it to Lyon. Once we got there, we took the subway to... One second. Ma'am, can I help you? Anyway, we got to our amazing Airbnb. Shout out to our host, Jean-Pierre. That's not a joke. He's a Frenchman named Jean-Pierre, and this is his picture. Eventually, we started exploring, near the river and through the old part of the city. Then we climbed up the top of the hill to watch the sunset. On the way down, you did something very dangerous. Good call. The next day, we explored the city, participated in some local art pieces, and had a traditional Lyonese lunch. I'll let you say it.
Le Bouchon at Le Garat.
Beautiful pronunciation. After lunch, we went for a walk by the river and had a picnic on the bank. Strawberries and chocolate truffles for you, and chips and candy for me. And then we discovered my favorite thing about the city, the slides, which for some reason made you really sleepy. It couldn't have been the wine. Had to be the slides. On our last day in Lyon, we went to Le Parc de Parc. I think it was just called Park. It had to be. They had the prettiest flowers, which made me angry, I guess. Then it was time to duck, get out of town, and on to the beautiful city of Paris. So disrespectful. On our first day in Paris, we checked out the Louvre. But we didn't go inside, because come on, did we look like art people? Then we headed towards the Eiffel Tower, and became the first people in history to eat Chinese takeout in front of it. And you just gotta get that Instagram pic. Now it's time for Paris Lightning Round! Cars! Triumphant Arc! Buildings! Weird sex coffee. Pretty old buildings in Montmartre. Amazing view. Thank you. Wow, that was tough. I think we need a drink. Look at you go. Wow, look at me trying to be as cool as you. The next morning, we got breakfast to go and hopped on a train to Versailles, as you call it. And it is a good thing that we got the skip the line pass. We checked out the Hall of Mirrors with our automated tour guide before hitting up the gardens. We had the terrible idea to rent a tandem bicycle, which I think is the true test of a relationship. Luckily, we passed. Barely. All the gold in Versailles had me thinking golden arches. So, you watched me eat a cheeseburger. Back in Paris, we burned off the calories, then had a few cocktails. Then we got the two most French dishes we could think of, a crepe and escargot. While we ate dinner, we listened to this amazing band playing outside. Then a little down the street, we noticed another band. Later that night, another. Bands all over town, not even so much as a tip jar out. We didn't ask questions, we just enjoyed our night. It wasn't until very late that we thought, maybe this isn't just every day in Paris. So we looked it up, turns out it's the holiday of Music Day. We felt pretty dumb. The next morning we had breakfast in this beautiful park. Then we went to go see the Cathedral Notre Dame, and I had such a Freddy Forgets a Lot moment. I left my big bag of fireworks in the cathedral, and really hope someone finds it before something bad happens. Anyway, that night we had an incredible French meal at a restaurant that Duncan recommended. You had the duck, and I had the veal. Very delicious. That night we walked around and noticed that there's just so many lights. It's like a whole city of lights. What? Wow, that has a nice ring to it. City of lights. Oh god, such a dumb joke. The next morning I had Chinese food for breakfast because, you only go to Paris once. And then we stumbled across this outdoor fashion show starring this little girl who definitely wanted to participate. We shared a croissant at this outdoor market, and later we had dinner. I don't remember where, but I'm pretty sure it looked something like this. The food was good, but the performance was better. Wow. We wanted to see the Eiffel Tower all lit up, but we got there super late and apparently they turned the lights off, so this is all we got. But, again, with the power of modern technology, I got us that picture. Now, I don't know if you remember or not, but we filmed a little rap video in Paris, and I don't have it ready quite yet, but I have prepared a little blooper reel for you. Enjoy.
Hopping out a train.
Okay.
Well, my parents.
Hey, yo, is that the happy? Hey, beep, beep. Oh yeah? Well, where are all the doves? See all them trim trees? Greetings. That's the bee's knees.
That's not low enough.
Notre Dame, I need a tree.
Yeah.
The springs are... Man, that's TCS.
You gotta check. But I could ask them to take something off. Like threatening.
I joked around a lot in this video, but in all seriousness, this was one of the best 2 weeks of my life, and there's no one I would have rather done it with. And here's to the next one, huh? Japan.